How to become a paid content creator in 2026, the beginner's guide. This is the full breakdown. So, I've been creating content for the past 4 years now, and I've worked with hundreds of brands, hundreds of different companies, small and large. And I've built multiple income streams from my phone, which I started with the oldest iPhone. And I didn't have a big following, I didn't have industry connections, and I didn't have the perfect aesthetic or the perfect plan, but I did have the willingness to get started. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to become a paid content creator. I'm going to walk you through my entire UGC Made Easy course, which covers the A to Z on how it actually works, how you can get started, and what paid content creators do on a daily basis to land those gigs. There's literally no gatekeeping in this course to make sure that you can get started and land your first brand deals. This course is literally for beginners, those who are curious, maybe busy mums, and those who want a flexible income. I know you don't need another random video. What you do need is a clear path, clear understanding, template so that you can go and execute what you actually learn, and a supportive community. And this is the purpose of today's video. Now, if you want the templates and extra resources mentioned throughout this course, be sure to join my free school community. The link is going to be down in the description. Let's get into the UGC Made Easy course, where I'm going to break everything down for you step by step. So, a massive welcome to UGC Made Simple, where we are going to demystify all things UGC. Now, my goal of this course is, as you walk through it, you're going to have the clear knowledge to know exactly what UGC is, how it works for real life people like you and me, what you need to do to land your first or next client. You're going to have the resource to actually go out and execute, which you'll find in the resource folder in the school community. And you're going to be so confident how you can turn this into a paid income stream. Now, in case you're new to my world, my name is Charlotte Barrett. So I've been a UGC creator, strategist, and a business mentor and mum of two for nearly 4 years. It's crazy to think how quickly that time has literally gone. I've also got 8+ years in marketing and social media management, and I still pinch myself because I've worked with some huge household names, some names that I've literally been using as a brand, and they pay me to create content. And I don't have a huge following, I didn't have industry connections, I don't have the most aesthetic house, but they still pay me for my content. And this is exactly why I've made this course, to break it down so that you can work out and understand how you can get paid too as well. And it's one of the most low barrier to entry businesses that give you so much opportunity and opens up a world of doors for you. Now, let's get into module one, getting paid without being an influencer. And I think this is one of the reasons that really lured me towards UGC, because I didn't have a massive following, as I said. And I was like, well, how can I get paid for my content? And then I found out more about UGC, and it's literally changed mine and my girls' world over the last couple of years. Now, what is UGC? Let's bring it back to basics before we go into more complex stuff. So UGC in plain English stands for user generated content. It's literally just a user talking about that experience of a product or service. So I like to say, think of it, you have just bought the most amazing blender, and it's literally changed the game in the way that you blend your smoothies. And now you're feeling got so much vitality and energized, and you might then go and pick up the phone, FaceTime your best friend or your mum and say, look, I'm making another batch of smoothies because this smoothie is so good. It's so easy to use. It's easy to wash, and now I just feel full of life because I'm able to have smoothies every day of the week. Something like that is very authentic. It's a story, it's brought emotion, and it showed how it solved a problem. That's how I want you to think about UGC. And the most authentic UGC is the one that converts for the brands. So brands want their customers and their clients to see themselves in the UGC, and it's why it's such a strong and effective marketing strategy as well. Now, we all still get confused about what is the difference with UGC influencing. And usually when I start working with clients, they have this apprehension, can I still do UGC because I'm not an influencer, I don't have a massive audience? But the answer is you absolutely can. Let's talk about the differences and why you can. So as I said, UGC is paid content. So the brand is paying you for the content, and they are going to put it on their socials. It does not need to go on your social media unless you're going to go into a whitelisting deal, which is what we'll talk about later on in the course. But they pay you for that content. They're going to put it on their socials for organic. They might put money behind it for ad spend. They might put it on their website. They may hire you to become a spokesperson of that brand. They use your videos for their own platforms. None of your videos need go on your own social media, which is why it doesn't matter about follow account or reach. However, influencing is different. You are paid as an influencer because you've built up like, know, and trust with an audience. You're paid for your reach. You're paid for your influence over your audience. Literally, a well-established influencer can go on their channels and say, "Hey, I've just bought this," and lots of people will go and purchase it because that person has said that they endorse it. And that is influence. And that's what brands are paying influencers for, access to their audience, the like, known, trust that they have built. So, very two key distinct differences as well. So why will brands happily pay creators for their small audience? Well, they're paying for the content, they're not paying for reach. They're paying because consumers trust real people, people that look real like us. They don't have a stage big production. They're paying because short form content is very where it's at the moment. People's attention spans are so short, so that converts. It's so much more cost effective for a brand also. If you think of the days when brands had to hire a big production shoot for like a small video, it would be like running the hundreds of thousands. They'd be having to get a place to rent, they'd have to get makeup artists, wardrobes, directors, all of that stuff. Whereas with a UGC content creator, a good one, they can do the script writing, they can do the directing, they can do the makeup, all of that. You wear many hats as a UGC creator, so it's much more cost effective for the brand. They put the money behind it if they're using it for ad spend, and it will convert. It's really about performance that matters more than popularity, which is why they're paying small creators again and again and again as part of their marketing strategy. So, what do brands actually care about and what don't they? So, a brand wants a creator that is easy to work with, that the pricing is not complicated, that they can tell a clear and relatable story. Does the content look authentic or does it look overly edited, overly staged? Can the audience see themselves in that piece of content? And also, importantly, can the creator follow a brief well? So, you will often get a brief from a client, from a brand that will talk about maybe key points to talk about. Sometimes they might provide the full script. They would talk about maybe the visuals they want you to capture. Now, if you can follow that brief and not deviate unless you've been given some creative license, the brand will want to work with you again and again because you're easy to work with. Now, in this module, I have a document that supports this module, which talks about how to make effective UGC. So you can go ahead and grab that for free in the resource section of the school community. We're now going to jump onto module 2, which is talking about finding your UGC lane without overthinking it. So I'll see you in the next module. So let's jump into module 2, which is all about finding your UGC lane. Don't overthink it. I always say progress is better than perfection. So let's talk about the type of content that can get you paid. And one of the things I would tell you to invest your time in is developing your skill set around face to camera content. So typically like this, being able to do testimonials, do script reads, this will get you paid and get you paid well. If brands can see that you can articulate yourself well on camera, and you don't need to hide behind voiceovers, etc., they will come back again and again. And this is where a lot of my work comes from. And I'll say, if you can master face to camera, you will already stand out amongst a sea of creators. So this definitely should have examples in your portfolio of face to camera. Now, other types of content brands are paying for: voiceover, so like a day in the life, that works really, really well. Voiceover is over product demonstrations, also lifestyle content, and then we've got product demos as well, and testimonials. Also, you want to learn how to master the formula for paid ads as well. So problem, solution, and then having a call to action as well. This is going to get you repeat custom from your clients. Now, let's talk about the difference between paid collaborations, the gifted, and the usage, right? And it can get really, really confusing. So, a paid collaboration, you're basically getting paid money for the content that you create. They're paying you for your time, your creativity, your skills, and for the deliverables. So, you always want to set out what deliverables are wanted before. So, that will be done via the contract stage. So, maybe it's one full UGC video, maybe you're doing 2 call to actions, and maybe you're doing maybe 3 additional hooks. So you want to make sure that you're clear on the deliverables, and that's what you're going to be being paid for. So this also may include the brand may ask you if they can do whitelisting, which will come from your account, and then you'll be paid additionally for that. Also, you can get paid for the usage, right? So this is really personal, dependent on the creator. So for me, I like to keep things simple. I offer 3 months usage within the price that I set, so my price is a bit higher, and then anything additional. So if the brand wants to run ads on it longer than 3 months, they pay me a percentage monthly for that. So this is how creators really build that income, by having these additional. So you've got your base rate, then you have the additional, maybe additional hooks, it may be photographs, it may be usage rights, it may be whitelisting, all of that combined, and that's how you really bulk up what you are getting in terms of your UGC payment. Now, the next thing is gifted collaborations. So these are literally just a free gift in exchange for content. So maybe they might ask you for a review. Maybe you're working with a fashion brand, they send you free gifts every month. You just have to share it on your social media. There's no money exchange, and you also do need to have clear expectations. So how much time does a brand want you to post about it as well? And you really want to get very, very clear. Now, gifted collaborations, I would use it as a beginner strategy, and maybe if there's a product that is high value and you really wanted it, but it shouldn't be done on the long term. We are building a business, hence we need to be paid. So gifted collaborations, you can sprinkle it in there, but don't let that be the majority of what you do, and it's easy to fall into that trap as well. Now, paid collaborations be gifted, be usage right. Let's continue. So, usage rights, I talked about it a bit earlier, but let's break it down because this can be so super confusing. Basically, it's given permission for the brand to use your content, your face, your likeness with what the brand is doing. So, they may use it for ads. So, they may run money behind the ad that you featured in, put it on a website, email, social media, whatever it can be. Now, as I said, I personally, just because of ease and I'm so busy, I include my usage rights for up to 3 months. Some creators, they will pay this an additional charge, but I do find that brands like creators who are easy to work with. So my strategy is just make sure my base rate is higher, so that includes it, and then it makes it simple to go. Now, if a brand is going to use it past 3 months, they maybe want it for 6 months or 12 months, they have to pay a percentage of my base rate per month. So it's really entirely up to you how you want to charge for usage rights. If you want it from the get-go as a percentage, if you want to put in your base rate, and also then you need to be following this up as well, and going in and using tools like the Facebook ad center, check if the brand is still running your ad, and then you can go back to them in terms for usage rights as well. So you want to be making money from your content. So make sure that you are looking at all the ways that you can make. Again, even having bundles is a way to really build up your income as well. Now, let's talk about some of the beginner friendly niches that are realistic and in demand at the moment. Now, it's really easy as you start UGC content creation that you might want to go down the route of wanting to go into fashion or beauty, but the thing is, this is high demand and it's often lower paid. And as I said, we're building a business and it can be very oversaturated. And because of this, a lot of brands like in those industries will offer more gifted or ambassador as opposed to high paying paid. The better paying beginner friendly niches that I would advise is doing things like household and lifestyle, so like cleaning, home tools, wellness as well, like looking at different types of tablets for maybe post menopause, stress gut, all of that stuff. Home and living apps is absolutely major. Digital, and there's so many apps out there that they want to be humanized by UGC. Also food and drink, so this is a niche I less enjoy, but some people love to do it, and these are good high paying niches to really start to, you know, explore and become a master in, and you'll get paid much more than going for niches that are very, very oversaturated, where the payment is low, and also there's lots of people you're competing with as well. Now we're now going to go in and jump into module 3. So honestly, start with what you have. You do not need a fancy setup to get started with UGC. And I am a big believer of this because this is actually what I did. So when I started, I had the oldest iPhone. I think it was like iPhone 12 or something, and I was still using it and getting paid. It was cracked. It was all the things. It's really about once you start to make money within your UGC business, that then you can invest and upgrade your equipment. So now I have a second phone, I have an upgraded phone, I have a variation of mics that I have lighting, etc. But all you need to get started is a good camera on your phone, and near enough everyone watching this likely has that. As long as it's a decent camera, you have some good lighting. So find a light source within your home where you've got great natural light. That's always the best. And if you want to get an additional like clip light or additional ring light, that's great as well if you're living in a country where it's a lot darker. So here in the UK, it's literally been raining non-stop and we have really dark winters, so having an additional light really helps. And having a good solid tripod. So my tripod, I have been using the same ones over the last couple of years. They're solid, able to be folded down, and they can give me multiple angles as well. And then later on, once you've made some money and you want to invest, getting a good mic is really useful. So for when you're doing those voiceovers, that things are clear. If you're making additional content to support your strategy as well, a mic is really, really useful. Now you can start by getting just one of those clip-on lapel mics, and then maybe later on you might want to get a sort of like podcast mic that you can do your voiceovers really crisp and clear. Now I do have a resource document that has all the tools that I use in my UGC business, including my AI stack, which is available. You can grab that for free in the resource section of the school community. But honestly, don't overthink it. Now let's talk about simple filming and your workflow. So it's really good to have as much systems and processes in your UGC business as possible, so that you are continuously not to get overwhelmed and you understand what works and what doesn't. So before I have any brand deal, what I do is I plan. So I plan around times. If I'm juggling multiple brand deals, I will have them on a whiteboard, but you can use a document as well. So plan what you're going to do. Plan if they've sent you ahead a brief, have a look at it, go ahead and think about what kind of shots you need to take, where you're going to take the shots. Are they different places in your home? Are they different places outside? So plan, put that in your calendar. And then you're going to go ahead and then you're going to have your filming day. You also want to, when it's filming day, know what are you wearing. So I literally have a few kind of tops that I wear for filming UGC. So they are plain colours, no logos, etc. They're neutrals. I have some blacks, some browns, some beiges and greys. And that way I'm not overthinking it as well. So I know these are like my UGC wardrobe. So I plan the days that I'm going to use, the props that I'm going to need. And then once you've gone on to film, and your filming is that much easier because you've got your shot list there. You've got the things you're planning, what you need to do, what you need to say. Then you may use another day to edit. That's what tends to be what I do. I don't tend to edit so much on the days that I film unless I've got additional time. Edit all your content, put it together, and provide it to the client and customer labeled. This is so super important. So you can deliver the content. I often use Google Drive or ask them to provide me with a Google Drive as well. You can also send it via WeTransfer. Some brands prefer this as well. So think about how you're going to be delivering the assets. Make sure that it's clearly labeled in the editing tool that you're using as well. So I use CapCut, and then you deliver that over to the brand by the agreed time. If you can do it earlier, that's always going to be a win in both your eyes as well. Also means you can get that invoice in earlier, and then you deliver it and you wait for your feedback, and then it either gets signed off or they ask you to do revisions as well. Now, let's talk about editing basics. So, as I said, you don't have to be a top class editor, but you do need to know basic skills and how to make a good UGC video capture the attention of the audience. So, rule of thumb, you want to be changing the visuals on screen every couple of seconds, 2 to 3 seconds, to hold their attention, whether that be a wide angle close up, whether it be then go into you talking face to camera, whatever it is, you want to be switching it up every couple of seconds. You want to be keeping the pacing really tight. Nothing's more worse than having a long, monotone, one pace video that is very, very slow. It will lose the audience's attention. Remember, the point of UGC is to keep the audience's attention so that it converts. And that's what the brands want. And that's how you're going to get repeat clients. So keep the pacing tight, cut out pauses, get to the point, don't over waffle. Again, you want the UGC to look good. Now, this doesn't mean extra gigantic aesthetics, but what it does mean, you need a good lighting. Natural lighting is always the best. Can you film facing the window so you've got all that natural light flooding you as well? If perhaps, as I said, it may be darker where you are in terms of if you're filming in the winter, etc. So you may want to get some additional lights, but make sure the lighting is balanced. There's not too much shadows as well. Simple visuals again are gonna be over edited visuals every single time, because again that doesn't feel authentic. But you want to switch up the angles. As I said, maybe wide, close, above, get creative with it so it can keep the story being told. The visuals really affect it, and when you are starting, you're going to want your hook to be really strong. So it's going to be a talking hook, going to be visual hook as well. So how can you just really keep this engaging? Now, in terms of some beginner common mistakes you want to avoid, and this sounds so simple, but before filming every piece of content, every scene, wipe your lens. I have a micro fiber cloth, and you will see the difference from when you wipe your lens or not. And it's going to be very, very clear. If you can film from your back camera, the quality is much better as well. Face a window, so check lighting. Is there shadows? Can you change the angles as well? Also, make sure that your background is clear. It's not messy. It's not going to deviate from what you're talking about, so that because people are concentrating on all the stuff behind you as well. Clear your background, hit record, and you are good to go. But these are some things that is going to make you instantly not seem like a beginner, and have the brand come back to you and ask for revisions if you can get these things as part of your regular workflow and your regular habits. So let's jump into the next module. So let's talk about UGC that brands will actually want to buy. And if you master this skill, you'll have repeat clients, which means you're not consistently starting from ground zero every month in your UGC business. So how do we structure a UGC video that makes sense to brands? Now, most UGC videos follow this formula. You're going to have a hook, which is the first couple of seconds. So you want two types of hook. You want your text-based hook, what you're saying, what's also text on the screen, and then you also want your visual hook. So you need to think you have literally 3 seconds to capture the audience's attention. How do you make this stand out? So do you say something that's really emotive, something that's really controversial when you are talking about your hook? What kind of visuals can you have? Can it be an angle that is really different, unique, disrupts the pattern? Can it be something really crazy, like you've thrown something over your face or something dropping? How can you make that hook really, really strong? That's going to be a start to a very, very good UGC video. Then you want to have the body of your UGC video, which is where you are talking about how the product or service solves a solution. So it's where your main script is, where you're going to have different angles, different visuals, different types of B-roll on top. And then your video is going to end with a CTA, what we call a call to action. So these are the 3 main points that you want in your video. Often brands who are testing multiple ad creatives to find a winning ad when they're putting ad spend behind, they are going to commission you to do a video with multiple hooks, because they can test which hooks working better, stopping the scroll. They might ask you for different CTAs because they can test which CTA is really directing the client or customer to go and do that thing, whether it's sign up, whether it's a purchase, etc. So that's where, again, as I said earlier in the course, that you can add extra. If people ask me to do additional hooks, additional CTAs, charge them accordingly for it as well. Now, you're going to want to do research when you get your video. So look at competitors, look at the brand, go and look at like their Trustpilot review or reviews. See what clients and customers are already saying that the brand is doing well. See what maybe clients and customers are saying what the brand isn't doing well. How can you address that in your script, particularly if you've been asked to create a script as well, where again you're going to charge extra for? So this is really going to make sure that your video really stands out. And can you add any type of social proof in there that really helps align the message as well, like showing other testimonials, visuals of what people are saying, or before and afters? That's really, really going to help strengthen your UGC. You also want to be aware of the direct response method. Now, basically what this is just making sure when you are creating the script, or if the brand has sent it to you to sort of just give an overview, are they really, really showing what the problem is? So maybe in the hook, you visually shown what the problem is. Then you want to then pretty soon after be introducing the product or service as a solution. So you really highlight the problem, you agitate it, then you bring in a solution. So someone watches thinking, yeah, I've got that problem. This happens to me all the time. And then they're like, oh, okay, so here's a solution to my problem. Remember, people pay for solutions. And the more storytelling and emotive you can bring into it, the more people are going to resonate. And then with the direct response method, you're going to want to have a call to action. You can't have a video or even any piece of content without having a clear CTA. So what does the viewer need to do next in order to get this product or service? Do they need to click the button down below? Do they need to go and register? Can they get their free sample? Whatever it may be, make sure it's shared. Sometimes the brand may want a softer CTA, make it seem less like an ad, or sometimes they might want a strong one. So it's depending on what has been agreed in the deliverables as well. A tip of advice for here: if you are creating a script for a brand, always send it to the brand for pre-approval. There's no point you going and filming a video without getting that pre-approval, and then it's nothing like what they were thinking in the vision for the UGC, and then you have to go and do it again. So get pre-approval, talk about the type of shots of B-roll you're going to capture, and that's going to just speed up the whole process as well, and everyone will get what they want. Now, what to say and what not to overthink as well. So obviously when you are going into filming, particularly when you're doing this early on in your career, you may be nervous if you're doing face to camera work like this. I've been doing it for years, so it actually feels like second nature to me. But here are some tips that I can share before you go to film. I always like have a playlist on Spotify with upbeat music to sort of raise your energy. We know that energy really transpires when you're filming. People can feel your energy as well. So have something that will get you a bit hyped up. Do some quick tongue twisters before recording as well. That's going to help it come across as if you've been speaking and not get so much in a fluster, and will save you time as well. Also, practice your lines a few times. I know this sounds boring and mundane, but you're going to get better takes, and the better takes you get is a better quality UGC you have, the more it converts and the more your clients will come back as well. And also, when you're doing face to camera work as well, or doing script reads, don't sit dead center on, because if we're on FaceTime, I'm not going to be like this. If I'm talking to you on FaceTime, I'm going to probably have the phone angled somewhere. I'm not going to always be looking directly to camera. Maybe sometimes I'm going to filter, when you're talking and you recollect, your eyes go to a certain side. So, blinked, look as if you're talking off camera, and this makes it feel more real and relatable. If you are using a teleprompter as well, practice those lines so that you're not having to read it word for word. Teleprompter's amazing. I use mine all the time. I use CapCut, but you do want to be familiar with the script. That's how you're going to get better takes as well. And as I said, occasionally look away so it feels natural. Recollect, do something if you can with your hands, if you're doing makeup. And this is always going to make this content feel better, more relatable, and make it work. Now we're now going to jump into the next module. How do we build a portfolio that actually gets replies? Let's jump into that and talk about what actually makes a good portfolio. So there are some basic things that you want to have in your portfolio, even if you're just starting. Now, the key thing is having an about you video. This is going to make you instantly stand out amongst the other sea of creators who don't. One of the things I say, even before getting your portfolio done, is create an about you video, because you can use this to leverage on platforms that you're applying for work. You can use it as a pinned post on your social media profiles as well. It can be used in so many ways, and it's literally a 60-second video that talks a bit about you, has visuals, gives someone a bit of flavor about your UGC and your personality. It's like your sales card as well. So you want to have this in your portfolio. You also want to have 3 to 5 sample videos when you're just starting out. Obviously, once you get more jobs and you start to put that in, you will have a bit more. And I would say put these into themes. So it could be, maybe you've got beauty videos, maybe you've got app videos, maybe you've got lifestyle videos. Put that onto theme. So depending on the person from the brand or agency that's looking, it makes it quicker for them. Something that is so important, and a lot of newbie creators do, and it shows you're a newbie, is not having autoplay turned off when you build your portfolio in Canva. Make sure that when someone goes and views your portfolio, that all the videos are not talking at once. This is a huge red flag for that you are a new creator. So make sure that's turned off as well. Now, you can have your portfolio and host it in multiple places. The industry standard is Canva, if you later want to upgrade that. So I have my portfolio in Canva, but I also have purchased a domain name, which is Charlotte UK UGC. And what I do is I forward that Canva website to my domain name. So that just helps build up my professionality. But you don't need to do that to get started. Honestly, have it in Canva. Make sure that you have put the favicon icon on. So when you share it, it's got maybe your picture or UGC portfolio. Again, these things will show that you are professional. You can also house your portfolio in like a Drive on Google, or you can maybe have it in Notion or a website. Is completely up to you. For beginners getting started, I say just go ahead to Canva. The resource section for this module, I have put my portfolio template in there as well. So you can go ahead and grab that by going to the resource section in the school community. Your other key things you want for your portfolio is to make sure, as I said, you have some talking head videos that people can see you, get to know your style, see if you fit the brand as well. And then you want a mixture of different styles of videos, and you want to have your contact information. Make sure that's up the front. Brands aren't having to go and search for that. So also where you're based as well. So if they're looking for maybe a Europe creator and you are based in the US, you don't want to waste anyone's time. So make sure that you put your location, put up the top, easy contact information, how they can get hold of you. And now if you want to upgrade your portfolio as you start to work and it becomes it's a working asset, you want to add things like testimonials in there. You want to add case studies of results you've done. You maybe want to link a contact form if a brand wants to then onboard with you, how they fill in that information and request. But these are things you can add on later, but this is the basics to get started. Now, what to leave out, so again, that you don't confuse brands. So this is a quick portfolio. Brands literally have a couple of seconds when they're reviewing hundreds of creators to see who's going to be a good fit for the campaign that they have in mind. Now, they don't need long personal backstories. They don't need to know why UGC, but at this point, everyone knows that. I would strongly advise do not put your rates or pricing within your portfolio. Reason being, you will shoot yourself in the foot. Brands have different budgets, different brands have different expectations. Once you send them your portfolio, then you can go into the negotiation phase. If you put your price in there already, they may have a higher budget, and they're not going to tell you that. Obviously, the aim of the game for them is to make sure that profit margins are up. So don't put your pricing in there. You can have a rate card separate. If a brand requests that, you can then send that over, but do not put your rates in your portfolio. Also, do not put every single video you've ever made. If you've been doing UGC as long as me, I've been doing it over 4 years now. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. I would not put that all in my portfolio. I only want my best work in there. I want work representative of what I'm trying to attract now as well. And I don't want it to be confusing and a long process for brands or agencies to go over when they go in my portfolio. Don't put low quality videos in there. Don't put poorly lit clips in there, because that's going to be a big red flag for them, thinking that's the type of content that they're going to get from you as well. And make sure that your contact details are super clear. As I said, if they like you, they're going to be able to quickly get to you as soon as possible. If it's going to be a long process, they're just going to forget it and move on to the next creator as well. So how do you present yourself professionally, even as a beginner? You also want to have good, clear photos in there. If you offer photography as part of your UGC package, you can say that as well. If you offer additional services like whitelisting and that, put that at the bottom and some bullet points as well. Use a clear photo. Your intro video, remember that is your best foot forward, so make sure that is really tight, really good, a display of your best work. Have short, confident information about you. Say maybe you've got a particular skill set, maybe you're a nurse, maybe you're producing UGC in a particular field. Put that in there, your credentials, but don't make it long. Really short, and show what is your unique selling points as well. So he helped what you do as well. Keep your portfolio super clean and easy to navigate. As I said, make sure that autoplay is off. Make it obvious the next steps for brands to engage you in their campaign as well. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about learning how the money actually works. And it's so important because we are building a business, not a hobby. So, how do brands find and hire UGC creators? Now, they can search the platforms, they will type in often creator, depending on the destination they're looking for. So, you want to make sure that your socials are optimized for search. So, meaning that you want to make sure that you've got UGC in your head in somewhere, that you're putting out content that are answering brands' questions when they're thinking about hiring a UGC creator. You want to make sure that you've got links in your bio how to reach you. So whether it's a link to your portfolio, which has your contact details, whether it's for collabs, it's got your email address. Make sure that all your socials are very optimized and you're visible and you're searchable as well. So also you want to make sure, if you're into SEO as well, if you've got a website that is SEO rich, again, that when you're putting hashtags out, you're putting hashtags out that brands are searching for as well. Now they are looking for content that fits their brand and fits their audience. So if there's a particular brand that you want to work for, look at what type of content they're putting out, paid and organic, and start to replicate that and put that in your content. Also, when you're using brands, naturally their products or services, tag them as well. Start to get visible. Go on their pages as well and comment. This is how you're going to start to be seen if you're already not being seen as well. They want to check your professionalism. So make sure that your content and your pages are professional, they're clean, they're looking great, they're showing high quality content only. If you've got low quality content on there, erase it if it's dark. You want to put your best foot forward. Again, your social media pages are like your mini portfolios as well. You want to use the highlighted features of the pinned post, whether it be on IG or TikTok, and put like your portfolio, put some maybe reviews, put stuff that is going to show brands that you are a good safe bet as well in there. Again, use your highlight features if you're using Instagram as well. Make sure that you've got highlights that are reputable and that show the brand that, again, this is a good person that we can use as well. They are going to test creators with small projects, and then if they like you, you're giving good results, you're easy creator to work with, they will invite you to become in-house creators, or they'll invite you to be go on retainers or use you again and again as well. So brands and agencies will rebook creators whose content performs well. So this is the biggest thing, that you want to make sure that you are constantly creating good quality work. If you don't have the capacity, don't take it on. It will do you more harm. And this world is very, very small. There are brands and agencies that recommend creators. And if you have got a good reputation, you will get recommended as well. Now, where beginners actually get paid opportunities. I know many of you are at the beginning stages watching this video. There is so many UGC marketplaces and creator platforms that are there for you. In the resource section of my school community, if you go in there, there is a long list of platforms that you can start applying to that are labeled according to level. So I've got a long list of platforms that are relevant if you're a beginner. Some of those will be lower paid if you're more intermediate, and if you're advanced as well. And there are lots out there. There is no reason you can't get started. If you have the things like your About Me video ready, you have some of your key information, you are good to go. And if you want that momentum and how to start to land your paid UGC deals, then go into the boot camp in the school community, 7-day boot camp that will get you into active momentum and stuff that will start to land you brand deals. Now, also, as I said, beginners are landing deals by getting on social media, getting yourself on X. I know many people are anti-X at the moment, but a lot of brands and creators are there. They're searching for UGC creators. So even if you don't want that to be part of your main strategy, you can go on there and look for brands, type in UGC creators needed, and look for brands who are asking for creators and apply there. Again, Facebook groups, many people don't talk about that. You can go there. Reddit communities, brands are searching there. If you type it on places like Indeed, LinkedIn, people are looking for UGC creators, are looking for you. You just need to find them and make yourself visible as well. And again, as I said, community referrals go well. If you start to build your links within the UGC community, show up in my group. People will refer you when they know what is your speciality as well. Now, what paid looks like at the start, realistic expectations. So I think there is a lot of, I'll just say, rubbish online in terms of UGC and making it seem like it's a get rich scheme. It isn't. And the thing is, UGC is a real business that can give you potential and give you a really good income, but you have to build it like any other business. And you also have to set the expectations, particularly when you're starting, you're building your skill craft as well. Now, beginner rates, typically, if you're in the UK, it's a bit different than if you're in the US or Europe. So you're looking maybe about 100, 150 to get started for maybe a 30-second video. You're looking maybe about 200, 250 for a starter video in the US. Obviously, this grows at the level that you your skill set grows. So once you've been doing it for a little while, you'll increase that as your base rate. That goes without saying, because you know what to do, you know how to get the brand results. And then you also want to add on things, as I said, for hooks. So maybe you're going to charge an extra £30 per hook, an extra £30 per CTA. So if a brand wants maybe a few videos, a few extra hooks, a few extra CTAs, you're looking at like, £500-600. If you're intermediate, that's going to be going over to £1,000 for a bundle. And you can create bundles. So you can have like a bundle for someone that just wants a test, someone that really wants to go hard, intermediate, and want lots of ads, and they can be like £1,000 plus as well. And then obviously when you are just starting and you're going on platforms, I want it to be really clear that you are going to have to lower your rate on platforms. So platforms like Fiverr and things, they are great. I still use Fiverr, but the rates on there are a little bit lower. The more you've been doing it, the more testimonials you get on there. You can raise your rates and speak to brands, and particularly if they want a certain bundle, you can bring that onto your rates that are off the platform. But when you're starting and you're trying to get your ratings up on them, they will need to be lower, but it all adds to building your experience, building your portfolio, and then you can start to have brands as you start to have your social media strategy really in place. Brands will come to you and you will start to get inbound as well. So how to pitch. This is another strategy that you can put into place, and it's good once you start building your UGC business and building it as a business, you're going to want to do multiple. You're going to want to be really strategic with your content to get inbounds. You might want to build that up with applying on platforms. You also want to pitch as well. So you want to pitch simply and confidently. The key to pitching and getting responses back is you want to keep it short and personal, and you don't want it to seem like it's a copy and paste effect. You want to show the brand that you understand them, and you want to explain that you can help them, that you're positioning yourself not as a fan, I really love to work with you, but as a strategic partner as well. Share relevant examples with your portfolio. So when I'm pitching, I use on Bento at the moment, so it's automatic. I have the VA level. It sends out 100 plus pictures for me a week, automatic, choose industry. And my portfolio is really, it's short, it's quick. I mean, my pitch is short, it's quick. And it talks about, I have an idea that I think would work really, really well with your brand. So it's showing me not as a creator that's desperate to work with them because I love them and I want them on my portfolio, but showing me as a real solution to that problem. I understand content, I make content native to the platforms. Would you be interested in seeing a concept? And when they come back to me, I'll create a personalized concept. So it's not a copy and paste. And that's how I'm landing deals with pitching. Again, when I'm using Instagram and I'm reaching out to get contact, it is a social media manager that is responding to Instagram DM. So you don't need to be writing a long paragraph. You just need to ask, can you have the contact details of the persons relevant for partnership? And usually, because they have to get back to DMs within a certain time frame, they get back to you and pass that on. And then it's for you to tailor a pitch that way as well. So make your pitches clear. Volume is a game here as well, and don't make them be a copy and paste sort of point of view, because brands will see that as well. Now, why does consistency beat perfection all the time? This is my motto for life. I always tell everyone, the more consistent you are, it will outweigh perfection, because perfectionists will stay one place. Consistency, you'll be moving forward and you'll get that feedback to master and become better. Brands value reliability over polished content. So if you're consistently showing up blind, brands are saying, oh yeah, that she takes content seriously. She knows trends, what's happening. She's serious about this business. There's someone that is, over analyzing their content, waiting for it to be perfect, the perfect scenario. Their visibility, they're being lost, they're not being seen, and so they're not going to be included in opportunities. And the more you produce content is the faster your skill set is going to increase, and you're going to get that feedback to know which content is good and which is not as well. And confidence comes from repetition, not from waiting. So keep on producing content. You're now building a content creation business. You should be creating content daily, even if it's not content that's going out, practicing your skill set, looking for different angles as well. And the more chances you put out there, think of it as a lottery ticket to be seen, is the more you are likely to have those opportunities come into you. So progress beats overthinking every single time. So let's jump into module 7, and I am a big endorser of whatever business you are setting up to have more than one income stream. So we're going to talk about how to add more income streams within your UGC business. Now, how creators are using Fiverr to sell UGC style services consistently. Now, I think Fiverr is a great resource for additional income in your UGC business, and particularly to get started with earlier on in your journey. And the reason I say this is because when you start on Fiverr, you do have to price at a lower rate until you get testimonials and you move up the ranking. So it's a great way to get started, work with multiple different brands, and really build your portfolio as well. And it can bring in additional income as you're building up your service, your name, and you're waiting for those inbounds to come in as well.
Now, you can turn your UGC videos into services that brands can actually buy instantly. So sometimes I've had the question, but how do you sell UGC services on Fiverr? Because people often think it's like maybe website services, etc. But it's the same. You are selling the opportunity for brands to buy content for their marketing strategy in the UGC style. So you want to think of Fiverr as a marketplace. The great thing about it is that brands will find you if you very well optimize your listings, and that's the key to Fiverr. You have to use very good SEO to rank on there so that you get that visibility. But when you do that and your gigs get going, you will start to have people and clients and customers come to you on the platform. In terms of you how to use Fiverr, the easiest way is list. You need to list repeatable offers. So you're not really going to have customizable briefs on there. At least not until you start getting started. I would have like you'll have your basic package, your medium basic package, and your more advanced one. So maybe your basic is literally just 30 seconds. Your more advanced one might offer script writing, and then your advanced one might offer 60 seconds plus. So what I would say is go and look at other creators that are offering the services that you want on Fiverr and look at where they are. Obviously, if they've been on there a long time and they are higher up in terms of the level, like top rated seller, you have to price a bit down so that you can start to get the edge and start to get clients to come to you on Fiverr. You can use your existing content. So on Fiverr, you've got the ability to create a portfolio on there. So put videos that you've worked with other clients or customers, or if ones that you've created a sample, put that on there. Your About Me video is going to be instrumental as well. And the key to Fiverr is you want to deliver super, super fast. So whereas off the platform, I tend to minimum is like a 7-day turnaround. On Fiverr, I do it a bit quicker because the key is fast turnaround, get those reviews, build that consistent income as well. The more orders you take on Fiverr, it seems to be the more they show you as well. So what you want to list as a beginner, as I said, you want simple in-demand offers on Fiverr as well. Make sure your listings are SEO friendly. Look at what commonality, and you can use AI to support you with this as well. Look at what keywords. If you look at free creators, look at their beginner, middle, and higher tiers as well. Their packages, what are they putting in, and see where you can see some similar SEO keywords as well. If you pay for the service of Seller Plus, you can get a Fiverr coach that can support you with that. You also get access to the keyword ranking on Fiverr as well. So offer simple deliverables, 15 to 30 seconds, no heavy edits, low price to start, build that momentum, those reviews and trust. And you can increase pricing once orders and reviews grow and confidence grow as well. And Fiverr is a great place to start to build connections as well. So there's some great clients I've worked with on Fiverr, and then I've worked with them long time off the platform. So a negative I would say about Fiverr, obviously it takes a 20% cut of your fee, which is why you've got to be really careful about what you price on there, and that is a downfall. However, as I said, it does have the positives. You work with a ton of brands and you don't go searching, the clients come to you as well. The key to being successful on Fiverr is having make sure you've got those really good listings, that you use all the space on there, that you are using the Q&A section, you're putting photographs in there as well, you've got your video portfolio, your introduction, you're putting pictures on your thumbnails as well. These things are so super key important. I've got my Fiverr top tips resource that you can go ahead and grab in the resource section of the school community, and also a sample of the Q&A questions that I put in, and that support and help the brands that are looking at your portfolio feel like, oh, this is a professional as well. So you can go ahead and grab that. Now, as an additional income as well, I just wanted to make sure that this is covered so you've got options, is becoming a TikTok shop seller as well. So if you can do UGC, you can do TikTok shop. Now let's talk about how TikTok shop actually works and maybe who it's actually good for. So TikTok shop gives you the opportunity to recommend different items and products on TikTok shop and then get a commission for it as well. So you'll see there's loads of people, loads of different sellers, even there's BookTok, you've got clothes on there, you've got household items. And what you want to do is once you've met the criteria, which I talk about, you start to make quick short form videos about the product service. You link the product on the bottom, and then you got a commission from anyone that purchases off your link as well. Thing with TikTok Shop, it is very organic videos that work, that convert. You don't want over polished again. It's you don't want to be making them so much UGC related, like with the whole you want the hook, but you don't need to be going and using a direct response formula. You want it to feel so organic, and that's what really converts on TikTok Shop as well. So this works best for creators who enjoy short, repeatable video formats. With TikTok Shop, volume is a game. You can make massive amounts of commission and money on there, and you don't need a big following to do that. So at the moment, the criteria is 500 followers. So you want to jump on that as quick as possible. If you want help with that, come in the community, drop your TikTok handle and say that you're trying to build your TikTok shop, and we can all go and follow and support if that is your first goal as well. It's great as an income. There's no ceiling to it. As I said, you can earn great money on there, but it is a volume game, and it is testing and seeing what the trends are, and also finding the product that you promote that is trending. That's the key to it, so that you can ride off that trend and that you can get there. You've got a better advantage in terms of income that you receive as well. So content ideas that can earn commission without a big following. Again, I said you want to be looking at problem led hooks, not brand style UGC intros with TikTok Shop. As I said, it's very organic. If you just scroll down your TikTok feed and you look at the type of TikTok Shop videos that are really highly converting, got massive views, you'll see there's lots of comments. You'll see that they feel so natural, so organic as well. You want to focus, as I said, on solution based content and stuff that is trending, and you can use tools to support you. There's lots of paid tools which will show you which in your country or where you're based, which tools, which products are really trending at the moment. You can grab that. You can get samples. Once you start making money on TikTok Shop, you will be able to get all of these products and absolutely free by requesting samples. If a brand has seen that you are selling, they will send it to you free. And when I started TikTok Shop, I didn't do that actually. I just actually messaged and DM'd brands and told them I'm a UGC creator. I sent them my portfolio at the time and said I would love to create some content for you, and that worked then. Obviously, it's changed a bit. So I started TikTok Shop maybe about 2 years ago. But you will see, once you start to get in the rhythm and they see that you're selling content, your inbox will be flooded and they will ask you if you want samples, and you'll start to get emails, etc. So it's just picking those first couple of trending products that are working really well, getting the virality, it can get pushed out really well, and then you start to get that commission. You may want to think about if you want to put TikTok Shop page, as opposed to not making it interfere with, maybe if you're using a page for UGC or lifestyle, etc. That's something that I chose to personally do as well. So you want simple videos and you want helpful videos. And as I said, those sorts of videos are always going to outperform that polished aesthetic content when it comes to TikTok Shop. Now, I've talked about two additional income streams here to UGC as you've already developed the skills, Fiverr and TikTok Shop. But what is really important as you're building your UGC business, that you don't have overwhelm. So you want to choose one additional income stream to test what goes well with where you're at now with your UGC business as you build it, and you build the foundations as well. So a way to test that is you can think about questions like, do you want predictable orders without posting daily? So maybe that if that's the case, you'll choose Fiverr. As I said, TikTok Shop is like a numbers game. You're going to have to post a lot of content to see what wins and what works to get those commissions in. If no, you go to the next question. So you might want to think about, do you enjoy short form of video and posting consistently? If yes, maybe TikTok Shop will be your additional income stream and not Fiverr at the moment. And then you want to think about, okay, do you want upfront payment for your work, which is you're going to get from Fiverr? Because what happens is when a brand chooses you as a creator, that money goes in escrow, and once you deliver it without any disruptions or distributions, then that money gets released from Fiverr into your bank account around 14 days time, and then released as well. But if you're happy without getting that upfront payment and you're looking for that additional income, then commissions is what happens with TikTok Shop. You earn a commission over time, and then that gets released as well. And you also want to think about, have you got limited time at the moment as you build the basis of your UGC business? If you've got limited time, then maybe it's you want to set and go. So you set your UGC Fiverr gigs up, and then every week maybe you tweak a word to keep it looking fresh on the platform and the algorithm pushing it. If you have more time then and you've got lots of energy, then TikTok Shop maybe is an area that you want to go. So think about it. Think about how you're going to bring those additional incomes within your UGC business as well. Now, what I think what matters as most as we've gone through this full UGC Made Easy course today, is that you want to show up consistently to build your UGC business, and posting and forgetting about perfectionism is what's going to move you forward, get you landing in those regular UGC deals, and start to build a consistent, predictable business. You want to put systems that you can repeat again and again. The earlier you put systems into your business, is the more easier it will be to scale as well. And you want to create content even before being paid. So go and create those sample videos, work on your skill set, show up in the communities, get yourself seen and known, and continue to be a student as well. Practice pitching, practice talking face to camera, and just build that momentum. And you will start to see that you have built a business that will wow you and give you opportunities beyond your wildest imagination. Now, I hope you have enjoyed this course. If you do want to go deeper, I'd recommend jumping into the bootcamp to actually build the momentum that you've learned, the skill sets that you need to exercise and build as a habit every day. So go ahead, and if you want deeper support, you can grab a one-to-one with me that is locked in the resource into the school community. There's a section there. And you can also buy my additional course as well, which goes deeper into building a cash flow system for a creator that builds sustainable, predictable income within your UGC business as well. So thank you for joining me on this. Any questions, jump into the community, and I will see you very soon.
If this helped, do subscribe because I'm always dropping more content on this channel.